Hey guys, my name is Ryan and welcome to Overwatch Central. We're here with another Omen by HP player interview. We are joined by two people that we spoke to in the first week of the Overwatch League, assistant coach Hayes and Boombox, the Zen God for Philadelphia Fusion. First of all, this surprised a lot of people. You beat New York XL, which were like the firm favourites. What can you sort of put that down to? Was that the meta? Was that the general? Like, you just seem to have a really good run of form and really commanded the game a lot better than anybody else on that stage, even the big dogs like New York.
So I think it's a mixture of things, like the reason we ended up winning New York 2-0. I would say right now they're not that great in this meta. I mean, they're a team who sort of rely on their Winston Tracer play, and that's something that is not really as viable in this meta. This is more of like a double sniper, Orisa, Hog, Diva kind of meta, like solo heal, those kind of things. And obviously they have Jonak. Jonak is, the best Zen in the world, so they want to have Jonak on Zen as much as possible, and that wasn't possible in this game.
Well, that sort of raises us on to the next question that I think both of you could sort of explain. One of the metas that we're seeing quite a lot recently has been, Orisa, Diva, but the supports, the Zen play would switch off to Roadhog and then you'd have just the Mercy healing. Boombox, could you sort of explain like the whole strategy about that and like from your perspective, switching from a Zen to a Roadhog? Is it just basically that you don't get picked off by a Widowmaker is what you're trying to do?
I mean, if you're playing Orisa via Orisa, then Roadhog's just better in every way than Zen. Like, Transcendence doesn't do anything in that matchup pretty much. Roadhog does more shield break, you can hook people, and you can have Roadhog and a Diva, so it's just like a free win if you don't run Zen. And that's pretty much why teams started playing that.
That kind of raises us on nicely to the support meta as a whole from like both your perspectives. Is it kind of a problem that you can just have a Mercy sort of solo healing everybody at that stage, and do you think that's why it's led to a nerf on the PTR?
I wouldn't say it's like easy for the Mercy to solo heal. I'd say it's like you're more reliant, like because it's possible, it's because of the Orisa shields. So like it's more possible because your tanks aren't taking as much damage. It's more like when they are taking damage, it's like burst damage, and then it's hard for the Mercy to heal it up. So I wouldn't say that's like related to the nerf. I would say the nerf is related to like how important she is in every team comp. She's in every single team comp possible. I think that's mainly because of res.
We'll go through all of the spot changes in a second, but one hero that sort of skipped out on any form of buff on nerf was Zenyatta. Now, with Zenyatta Mercy being so prominent for so long, ever since like the first week of the Overwatch League, that's been the support meta pretty much. Like, why do you think Boombox, Zenyatta just got no changes then, even though there's a lot of focus on him being somewhat really strong?
I mean, Zenyatta is just, I guess, the most fun support hero to watch and play. Like, you can kill people, whereas the other ones can't really. So changing that and making supports more healing again, I feel like would be a poor change. Whereas supports being able to like actually kill people and make plays is pretty good in Overwatch.
So with the Moira changes, Lucio changes, Ana changes, which we've sort of gone through before, are there any that have caught your eyes? Is there any sort of, like, granted you're focusing on this patch, you're not really focusing too much on the future right now, but are there any things that you can surmise and sort of expect with the changes with the supports that might sort of affect, is that going to be the end of Double Sniper, for example? What are you sort of excited to see?
I mean, with the Mercy nerf, that obviously means that, like, Double Sniper is going to be less prevalent, I would say, because the Mercy is like used a lot for the damage boosting, like the healing on like solo single targets. I mean, the Lucio changes could open up more dive. Ana changes could open up like more like nano related comps, like for example like Reinhardt nano comps, nano Genji comps. I mean, like the Ana buff is like actually pretty huge, so I think that's definitely a possibility. What are the changes? The Moira change is not that massive. It's a nice buff, but it's not something that's going to massively affect the meta.
Do you think Mercy's still going to be played a lot then, even with the sort of nerf to a healing?
It's hard to say right now. It's like I'd need to see it in play. I think that in combination with the other support changes could definitely affect the meta.
I think one of the main areas then, with that sort of question in particular, is like a lot of people, when they see the changes go, that's not enough for Mercy, it's all Resurrect, that's the problem. Do you sort of agree at this point, especially as somebody that sort of plays alongside Neptuno, sort of just sat over there, like with the reses and stuff, do you think that's a big issue with the hero, or do you feel that right now it's just how much healing that she can put out consistently?
I think the reses are probably the best thing about Mercy. Like, a lot of time in Overwatch League, like people will play Widow, someone dies, and usually that would just be a lost fight, but Mercy can just press one ability and then suddenly it's like same again, 6 vs 6, so it's pretty important for Mercy.
What do you think of Hammond, real quick? Like the new hero, kind of anti-sniper? Do you think he's going to make a big impression at all, or again just a sort of?
I mean, it definitely looks like a fun hero. Like I enjoy playing the hero. I think it's going to affect Widow. I mean, just with the fact it's like you can like Tarzan across to the Widow and like get on top of it like so fast. I think that's definitely going to affect it, and Widow can't really do much about that. So I think it's good in terms of like maybe getting rid of more Widow comps, and like because she's so like prevalent right now in the meta. So I think it's a good change. It's funny because you usually see like whatever's the most dominant in the current meta, Blizzard bring out a hero that like totally spices up that meta. Which
like
is,
Brigitte for Dive.
Yeah, exactly. Like Dive was like played 24/7. They released Brigitte and it's like, oh, we can't play Dive anymore. The teams have to realize like, oh, we have to start changing our comps and like figuring out what's the best comp now.
It seems like in a really healthy place right now, that ever since Brigitte was in the game, you know, we've all played ranked, everybody was like, it's very one-dimensional, you got Hanzo triple support, but that's evolved quite a couple of times into sort of different areas. Do you think that this is like how Overwatch should be, that there's balance changes coming out, sure, but it seems that teams are really focusing on strategies to shut down certain comps, like the Roadhog Zenyatta swap and the sort of a Orisa tank combo?
I would say it's just like mostly the comps. For example, like the changes with the Zen to Roadhog, that's like a common sense change. Like you realize what is the Zen doing in this comp, and like is Zen actually contributing to like our common goal on the team comp? And if he's not, then that's when people just swap out the heroes. Like Roadhog. Roadhog does a better job of what the Zen would be doing. So I think it's more about like just being creative and trying to like think about what can work better than what you're currently running.
For sure. Lastly, I think one of the final things to go over is Team UK, France, fairly soon. It's still, you got all of this to sort of worry about until then. But like, we kind of fancy our chances a little bit. Not maybe as arrogant as we were last time around, but I think we still probably could go through undefeated, right, with the team that we have?
I mean, definitely. I think this year we have a very strong team. We have competent players and like solid players in every single role. We even have like an extra player this year, so that brings more flexibility to our team. So yeah, I'm confident.
You sort of excited for it? Do you think that there's going to be any changes to, you know, Symmetra will be in by then, Hammond? Do you think that what meta you'll be playing in like 2 months, 3 months time is going to be a hell of a lot different to what it is now, or just a little bit different?
I mean, it's going to be pretty different. Like, I feel like a lot of teams, like, who may not be the favorites will, like, try new things with Symmetra or Hammond. Like, personally, I'll be trying Hammond a lot. He may not let me, but I'm going to be grinding that hero. So it's going to be, like, pretty unique.
Amazing. And finally, I guess just any last things to go over. It's been a long sort of trek between, it was like the Takeover 2 event that you were sort of first part of a United, and then we saw you in the first week where you didn't have a pre-season at all. Now you're in the finals. Is there any last things that you want to say before you go into it?
I'll just say that I'm happy we made it this far to the finals. Everyone's worked hard this year, and I think everyone deserves to be here from this team.
I just like to thank everyone for all the support that I've been given since I've been a pro. It's been really overwhelming, and I'll make sure to make people proud.
And that's it for this time. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks to these guys for joining us. Good luck to you guys in the final. I'm sure you do amazing. Big shout out again to Owned by HP for supporting this video. Take care, and we'll see you next time.